This episode of the Accounting Insiders podcast is brought to you in part by Xero. Xero is a powerful cloud accounting software that improves efficiencies across your practice. With all client data stored on a single unified ledger, you and your clients can easily access and collaborate on the same set of books. Xero's advisor tools and automation solutions reduce time-consuming manual tasks and put data entry on autopilot. Work faster and more efficiently than ever before with Xero. Visit xero.com/accounting insiders to learn more. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Accounting Insiders podcast. My name is Gary DeHart, and I am the host of the Accounting Insiders podcast and the publisher of Insightful Accountant. My guest today is Tommy Tsai. Tommy is the co-founder of Coefficient. Tommy, thanks for taking a few minutes, probably about 25 minutes plus or minus. Unless we dive deep into some conversation, maybe it goes longer, but thanks for
happy to be here.
Yeah, great. We certainly appreciate it. We're going to have a little different angle on this podcast. And so if you're listening to this, I definitely want to encourage you to go out to our website or our YouTube channel and check out the video side of it, because Tommy's going to be walking through a little bit of the product demo as well throughout this podcast. So before you dive into that, can it give us just a little bit of your history and tell us a little bit about your background, about Coefficient, and how you ended up co-founding Coefficient, what it does, and then we'll dive into the product.
Sure, that sounds great. So I'm one of the co-founders of Coefficient, and I'm the CTO. So I've been in the startup space for about 2 decades now. I have a software engineering background, and I've always been really interested in the power of the spreadsheet, right? It's used by over 2 billion people in the world, and in some sense, it's the most ubiquitous programming environment in the world. A lot of most people don't think of a spreadsheet as like a programming environment, but it allows business users to kind of encode a lot of business logic that exists in their heads, right, into like this executable format, and it's kind of this flexible canvas that allows you to do a lot of things. And when we were starting out at Coefficient, my co-founder and I were kind of coming up with ideas for what to do for our next startup. We decided to pursue kind of this direction because both of us have been thinking about spreadsheets for a long time, and what we can do to make the spreadsheet even more powerful.
Gotcha. Let me ask you, actually, before we dive further around spreadsheets, since you've been in kind of the tech space for 20 plus years, and I'm not a tech guy. I'm not in tech space. I didn't go to Stanford. I have on my Samford shirt, which is where my sons both go to. It's where they're
cool.
both at college, and it's funny because they have a shirt at Samford that says Sam, not Stan. Because if somebody says, "Oh, where do your kids go to college?" and if I say Samford, they'll be like, "Oh, wow!" I'm like, no, Samford, not Stanford. And so they have a shirt that's Sam, not Stan, which
That
is
is
actually pretty
hilarious.
funny. Yeah, it's pretty
That
funny.
is really funny.
I should find one, send it to you. Yes, and so there's Samford on the East Coast in Birmingham, and then there's Stanford on the West Coast, and we are Sam, not Stan. So,
I
but where
want
I
that
was
T-shirt.
going, I'll find you a T-shirt and need to send you one. So, where I was going, my question is, and this may sound like a silly question, but I'm not a tech guy. I don't have a coding background, but in the 2 decades that you've been doing this, what have been kind of the major like pivots that the tech scene has that's taken place on the tech scene that has made technology so much more ubiquitous and so much more available to just common users, right?
Sure. So first there was just like the internet, and that happened sort of before I got into the industry. And then the next big shift was really mobile, and how, around I think 2007, 2008, that's
Yeah,
when the first iPhone came out, and then Android phones followed uh, very soon after that. So that was a
yeah,
huge shift. And um, the other big shift that has happened is sort of technologies being more and more available in the cloud, and a lot of software being available just in your browser, right? Instead of needing to, get a CD-ROM, if you remember
right. Oh
those
yeah,
those things from back in the day, right? That you had to, go to Best Buy or something and purchase a copy and install it on your computer. Uh, you don't really do that anymore, right? Like most
right.
software that people use is in the browser. Um, and then, one big shift that we're currently in the middle of, obviously, is AI. Everyone's talking about AI.
Yeah.
And it's, I, I want to ask you, because, you've been in the accounting space for a long time. Like, how has AI changed accounting so far,
Mhm.
and what do you see, kind of happening in the next few years?
Yeah, I think from our perspective, kind of what I'm seeing is that I don't know that I don't know that it's trickled down far enough into people's comfort level to have made great changes. Because it really seems, just from conversations I have and what we write about and what we present about on various webinars, that it's still, obviously it's everywhere. Everybody talks about it, and it's, can't get away from it, right? I mean, you open up any browser, it's right there. Um, we use HubSpot, it's right there. Um, but as far as knowing how to leverage it, I think that's still kind of what most people, and I certainly can't speak for the accounting profession as a whole, but it seems to me that we're kind of in that space, that time of early learning on it, and where, I'm comfortable asking it to rewrite something, but I don't know that I'm comfortable asking it to do something super in depth or super complicated, right? Because especially, and I'm not a tax guy or an accounting pro, but something that is, regulated, I have to be very careful. I would have to be very careful, as accounting
That's right.
professional.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that um, uh, that is the current state of AI in accounting, and even, outside of accounting. It's useful, but there's in order to use it well, there needs to be a human in the loop. Um,
Yes, yeah.
yeah.
And a whole lot of training around it, as to, like, we did a webinar. It was, I think, maybe about 4 to 6 weeks ago, and I wasn't aware of this until this webinar speaker talked about it, about it, having the option of having different voices in AI. And when and this, but just for people who may not have heard about it, we're not talking about the voices of, is it Gary's voice? Is it Tommy's voice? Is it a lady from Australia? It's about how it's written, right? Whether it's an
Yes.
aggressive voice, whether it's a passive voice, whether it's, a compassionate voice, which I find that fascinating, that you can have the technology write a certain, with a certain tone, and
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
obviously
Totally.
that'll continue to improve.
Yeah.
But
And one really fun thing that I love to do is, when I send a message to friends or send an email, sometimes I ask AI to rewrite it in as a poem or in like Shakespearean language. And that's something that's pretty cool.
yeah,
And yeah,
yeah. So it'll be very interesting to have this conversation a year from now, right, and see what's happened in a year, because obviously it's rapidly advancing and rapidly the uptake on it
For
I
sure.
don't know. I couldn't even begin to guess how quickly that's increasing. But
Definitely.
um,
And we have some AI powered features in the Coefficient product.
yep,
I'll talk through that in a little bit. And we're working on a lot of kind of newer AI powered features that should be launching in the next couple months. And
okay,
we're super excited about the potential of AI. And, like you said, right now, the state of AI is that it's useful, but you kind of need a lot of checks and balances around it. You need to have a human in the loop, and via our AI-powered features, we would love to kind of share that power, the potential of AI in a way that's useful, where we provide a lot of those checks and balances to make sure that AI is doing the right thing.
right. I think it's funny, and then we'll dive into coefficient. But so we use HubSpot, and when you're laying out a page in HubSpot, it can write your meta data for you, right? A meta description.
That's right.
And it's, here's the block, and it says, if you want to use the meta description, click here. And then it says under it, should be whatever, 150 words or something like that. And every time I've used it, it always exceeds the 150 word recommendation. And I find that very humorous in that, it's saying you shouldn't write more than 150 words, yet every time it writes more than 150 words. So kind of why you need that check and balance, and why we
Totally.
do still need to put some eyeballs on it to make sure it's kind of doing what we want it to do within the boundaries of what it should be doing, I guess. So
Absolutely.
yeah. So automate, analyze, and advise. I'm going to start on advise just on my commentary, and then um, we'll let you jump in. And the reason I want to comment on that is advisory. The profession is being beaten over the head with advisory, right? Oh, you have to be an advisor, have to be an advisor, have to be an advisor. I'd say 5 years ago it was you are the trusted advisor, is what we heard, is what the talking head said. And then, prior to that, it was something else. But, you know, I think they being the accounting professional, has always been in that advisory seat. Um, but now the tools like this, like Coefficient, are so much more available, and they're so much easier to use, and they're so much more affordable than they were 5 years ago, let's say, that I think it empowers the advisor to be able to do a much better job in working with their clients and working with the data that their clients have, or that they have for their clients, to really be able to give them good, advice. So, how does Coefficient automate, analyze, so that I can advise if I am an accounting pro?
Yeah. Yeah. So let me jump ahead and sort of I'll start with describing what our product does.
Yep.
So Coefficient empowers accountants to connect all their clients' data, automate workflows, and share live insights within Google Sheets or Excel, kind of the two main spreadsheet platforms. We have over 70 integrations with different systems, including QuickBooks, Xero, NetSuite, and non-accounting systems as well, like Salesforce, HubSpot, Stripe, Snowflake, and uh, the uh, goal of Coefficient is to basically connect your spreadsheet with all your data source systems, whatever data source systems you need to pull data from to do your day-to-day work. Our product will allow you to automate data flows from those systems.
Okay.
So there's a lot of uh, mundane, manual, time-consuming work, right? Like if you are pulling data from these systems into spreadsheets day in, day out, that's a lot of time you're spending, and it's error-prone, it's repetitive, it's work that you don't really want to do, right? But with Coefficient, what you can do is set up your spreadsheet with a live data import from QuickBooks or Stripe or HubSpot, and then that data will be flowing into your spreadsheet um, on a schedule. It could be hourly, it could be daily, and instead of spending a few hours a day just moving data from one place to another and then finally into the spreadsheet, you can set it up once. All the data gets updated on whatever schedule you want, and your spreadsheet dashboards or analyses or what have you will now be powered by live data.
Okay. And
Yep.
I may be getting ahead of where we're headed, but I'm going to jump into not the onboarding process, but you said a lot there, and what kind of caught my attention as I'm thinking about our business and the amount of information that we have in our business, and is one of the sticking points with adoption of a tool like this, that I don't know what I don't know about the power and the capabilities of a tool like this. Like, so if I were to onboard Coefficient, like for my business, and it just seems to me like with technology in general, and again, this may be just a problem with us, we use, maybe 10% of the power
Yeah.
of all the technology that we have. And do you find that with customers, just from a tech standpoint in general?
Yeah. So there's always a learning curve, right, with
Yeah.
any new software product. And you're totally right. With most software products, they are complicated. They're a little almost like intimidating to use, and you end up using 5%, 10% of the feature set, and you don't
Hmm.
really discover, right, what else the tool could do. We think about this problem a lot, and we designed our product so that the onboarding is very easy. The time to value is short, and we offer a free trial in our product. It's self-serve, so people could start using the product just by going to our website, entering their email address, right, and then installing our add-on into Google Sheets or Excel, and
Okay.
within 2 3 minutes, they will see a live data import from whatever system they want to connect to, QuickBooks, Xero, what have you, into their spreadsheet. And we want to make that onboarding experience really easy. And we also, at the right points in time, will try to surface some of the other automation features that we provide in our
Yeah.
product. So people kind of learn more about our product as they use it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and probably uh, makes them a little more sticky too, right? As a customer, the more I use it, the more I get involved with it, the more I see the value in it, and I imagine for the accounting professional who is truly an advisor, the more they use it, it could help make their clients even more sticky with them too, right? Because they're able to say, look at all this great information. Here's our quarterly review or a monthly review. Here's where we are using, your tool, right?
That's exactly right. Yeah, and for accounting professionals who work with a lot of different companies, um, our product will allow them to connect to, you know, uh, however many QuickBooks accounts they need, and however many, Xero accounts that their customers are using, and they can basically build a lot of um, kind of standardized reporting in the spreadsheet that they can kind of build once and very easily be able to deliver it to a bunch of different clients.
Okay. Okay. Let's see what else we got.
Cool. Um, so how coefficient helps, um, and we at a high level we help you just speed up data management um, across all the systems that you need to connect to, and we free up a lot of your time, right? So for the accounting professional, it allows you to focus more on the advisory work, the kind of higher value added work, right? Instead of the mundane day-to-day stuff.
Mhm.
So you can automate data refreshes from QuickBooks, from Xero, from any of the 70 data source systems that we support. We are actually working on a two-way sync feature for QBO, so that in addition to being able to pull data from QuickBooks into a spreadsheet, you can push data back in. And like I was mentioning earlier, our product allows you to standardize reporting across
Mhm.
similar clients, because you can connect to your clients' different QuickBooks accounts and Xero accounts, and you can kind of build a set of spreadsheet templates that you can deliver to multiple clients. You can consolidate data from multiple accounts using Coefficient, and we also offer a bunch of pre-built templates that are designed specifically for QuickBooks data and Xero data, and NetSuite is another ERP we support. So
Mhm.
I'll demo that in a second.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, so
On those
yeah,
pre-built templates, do you find that that the majority of the users are using the pre-built templates, or do you have a good number of or a good percentage who are taking maybe your templates and then changing them or tweaking them to fit their particular need?
yeah. So a lot of our users start with the pre-built templates because it's the easiest way to get started. Um, the pre-built templates are ultimately they're spreadsheets, right? So
Mhm.
you're absolutely right. People make tweaks on top of the template. And then as they use our product more, they can just build almost their own templates, right? Using just whatever data imports they set up into the spreadsheet. So it's there's a ton of use cases that people use our product for. Pre-built templates are a good way to get started, but
Mhm.
um, our users tend to kind of discover more and more use cases as they kind of use our product more and learn more about its capabilities.
Okay, great.
Cool. So this is just a little bit about what our demo is going to show. Um, These are some of the pre-built QuickBooks templates um, that we support: cash flow, profit and loss, sales and revenue. I'll show one or two of these in the demo. So yep. So we jump right in.
Yeah, jump in. And while you do that, I'll ask a question about spreadsheets versus Excel sheets versus Google Sheets. What's the can you tell from your side looking at it, are more users using like Excel sheets, or do you have more users on the Google side?
Sure. So currently we have more users on the Google side,
That's
because
interesting.
we
Okay.
yeah we started with Google Sheets, and
Okay.
we launched our Google Sheets product about maybe 3 years ago,
Okay.
3 to 4 years ago. Our Excel add-in is actually less than a year old,
Mm.
so it's uh, pretty much feature at feature parity. So we've been seeing a lot of growth in our user base from Excel users.
Okay.
Cool. So I'm gonna go through our demo right now. So this is how you access our extension from Google Sheets. You click on the extensions menu, and then you launch our extension. The primary interface to our product is this sidebar that sits alongside your spreadsheet.
Hmm.
Um, the couple of buttons that you have access to here: import from, that's importing data from a data source into the spreadsheet. Export is going the other way, exporting data from the spreadsheet back into a source system.
Hmm.
Automations allows you to set up, alerts and things of that nature. I'll go through that in a second. And we also have this newer kind of, I guess, like beta version of GPT, like Copilot features that
Okay.
help you, use kind of the latest AI technology, from right from your spreadsheet. But I'll
Okay.
start with importing data, um, and I'm going to select QuickBooks. So for QuickBooks, we offer a few ways to import data. You can import data from a pre-built report, kind of those standardized reports, right, that you have access to when you log into QuickBooks.
Hmm.
You can also import, objects directly from QuickBooks, which gives you more flexibility, but there's a little more configuration that you would have
Okay.
to do. So I'm going to start with QuickBooks import.
On that configuration side, how much, I mean, we're not talking about coding, right? We're just talking about being able to look in, understanding what, and again, I'm not a tech guy, but understanding what the various fields are in
That's right.
QuickBooks so I can know what to say, yeah, I want that info or this info and that info.
Exactly. Yep.
Correct.
It's
Okay.
all kind of drag and drop.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm going to start with a uh, balance sheet report. This is the current balance sheet for this fictional company. The numbers are pretty big, uh, as you can see. But you can summarize by, say, quarters. You can choose the reporting period, uh, and you can switch between cash or accrual accounting method. These are all kind of controls that uh, accountants who use QuickBooks would be very familiar with, right? These are the same
Right.
settings that you have inside of the QuickBooks UI. And in general, that's sort of our product philosophy. When you are using our product to automate data flows to a system, say QuickBooks or Xero or Stripe, um, the terminology we use, the filters, the um, controls that you have, we try to match the source system as much as possible. So
Okay.
you don't have to learn sort of a new paradigm uh, to automate your data flows. So I'm going to click import. Basically, that import preview, um, shows you a preview of the data. You can tweak it as much as you want, and once you're happy with it, you click import, and now as you can see, the data has been imported into your spreadsheet. Um, you can schedule the import so it just refreshes on its own. You can do daily, hourly, weekly. I'm gonna say refresh daily at 9 a.m.
Okay.
This is another very useful feature um, that we support, which is snapshotting data. So, for instance, if you want to keep a snapshot of your balance sheet, every week, Monday morning, you can set up a snapshot, and uh, in it, and after you set up the snapshot, in addition to having your data refresh, every single day, we'll create a new tab uh,
Okay.
for each week.
Oh, wonderful.
Cool.
And are
So
these
that's the balance
like when you
sheet.
make these when you make those changes, are they changes that you're getting feedback from clients or users? They say, hey, it'd be great if we had X.
Yeah, yeah. We listen to our users a lot, and we talk to our users like almost every single day, and we to learn about their use cases and to see, you know, what problems they have that our product could solve. And yeah, like we love hearing from our users.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. And I want to show one of the pre-built dashboards. I'll choose the P&L dashboard. I'm going to click on Use Template. So when you open up one of these pre-built dashboards, all you have to do is choose the connection that you want to get data from. For accountants who use our product, very often they would have 15 QuickBooks connections listed here.
And would that have like company name, like the client name? Okay.
Yep. So this dashboard, this template is powered by 3 different data imports. And there it is. So now this template is now powered by data from that QuickBooks connection that I selected. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can get an overview of this P&L dashboard. So it gives
Is
you a very
this,
easy way to get started.
yeah. And is this refresh? Okay. You got the set the refresh schedule is there on the bottom. Okay.
That's right. Yep. So I can make it refresh every day at 9 a.m. You can also refresh the data manually if you want. Here we have these drop downs that allow you to kind of slice and dice your data in different ways. Current fiscal year, previous fiscal year. Cool. And I want to just quickly show a couple more of the templates. So one common problem for accountants is that they need obviously they need data from QuickBooks or Xero or whatever the primary accounting system is, but oftentimes they will also need data from somewhere else, right? Like Stripe, for instance, which is very commonly used as a kind of a payment system, right, for e-commerce. So we have this e-commerce template that is connected to QuickBooks and Stripe. And another kind of multi-data source template we have is QuickBooks and Shopify. So for Shopify customers, a lot of them, or Shopify stores, merchants, they have inventory, right? And QuickBooks Online just, is a bit lacking in the kind of inventory management area. So we have this, dashboard that allows Shopify merchants to kind of match their QuickBooks data against their Shopify data, so they can see, a dashboard that pulls in, data from both data sources and kind of puts this, nice dashboard together that mashes up the data.
Yeah, and from the I think earlier, I don't know if we were recording yet or not, but earlier, one thing we always want to touch on is, what's in it, so to speak, for the accountant, what's in it for their client. And like this is a great example, right? This for the accountant, one, especially if they're advising, right? They're able to take a look at this at any given time and say, okay, well, I know my client's doing well. I'm assuming if it was negative, there'd be some red up there. Um, but I can, and in a visual representation, see, okay, my client's doing well. They're, we have some spots that we need to focus on. And I can either, depending on the relationship, right, I can get on the phone, call the client and go, hey, have you noticed that, you've had whatever your multifunction printers, you've got 800 sitting in the warehouse somewhere that you need to get rid of, and we need to free up that cash. It really helps the accountant be that advisor and be a proactive advisor, which I think is what most small business, as a small business owner, it's what we want. We want our accountants to be advising us, looking over our shoulders and saying, hey, you know what? You could be doing better in this given area, which, and then for the client, and what they're getting out of it is a nice snapshot of, hey, here's overall my business at this point in time. That's very current, right? Because you're pulling in data from these multiple sources.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And every business, every client is different, right? They would use different systems, they would care about different things. Some of them are, e-commerce stores, some of them
Mhm.
uh, are, SaaS companies, and every company uses different systems as their kind of source of truth systems, and Coefficient really allows uh, accounting professionals to work with clients in a much deeper way, right? Instead of just, you know, staying inside of QuickBooks or Xero, they can now pull in data from other places that are relevant for that client.
Do
Yeah,
you
and
have
you,
like a
yeah,
a core set of reports that you find are kind of the go-to reports that almost every user is leveraging at a regular basis?
yeah. So some of these more, I guess, basic or broadly applicable reports like
Hmm.
P&L analysis. These are uh, most widely used just because they're easier. They only require QuickBooks connection, right? But
Okay.
for customers who are accountants who work with clients that are Shopify merchants, right? This is like a lifesaver for them.
Yeah, I imagine that the more complicated the account, or the more inputs that they have, the more valuable this becomes because it really helps them see in one view more parts of the business.
Right. Yeah, and when a uh, accountant, shows this a dashboard like this to their client who's a Shopify merchant, right? Like
Hmm.
it's really like a wow moment for the client. Being able to see, data from uh, different places pulled together into this, very nice and actionable dashboard.
Right.
Cool. And you mentioned one word there, proactive. Another automation feature that Coefficient offers is alerts, um, which allow you to be, even more proactive. Uh,
Yeah.
like for instance, in this example, I have a bunch of past due customer invoices pulled into a spreadsheet, and I've set up this alert that will send me an email uh, every time a new past due customer invoice shows up um, in uh, in this spreadsheet.
Okay.
And I'll show a quick screenshot. This is what one of these alerts could look like. You can customize how that alert looks, but this is yet another way for accountants to provide a lot of advisory value to their clients.
And this would be if I'm the accountant user, this is good that this is going to me, or this is being pushed out to the client.
Yep, it could be both.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So we have, the key, around it, right? You're bringing data in from a lot of different places, and you're able to put it into a single view, or maybe it's multiple views based on what the data set is. Um, Ease of use, quickly automated, or like we showed, can be automated every day, right? To update or to do, I don't know if you call it a data pull, or what the right term would be, but
Yeah, we call it
where
data import, but yeah,
data
data
import.
pull.
There we go.
Yep.
That's data import, just like it said. I think it even said that on the button. So we'll stick with that.
Yeah.
And so it's, now, are you able to, because you said the GPT Copilot, is that functional? Because I think you wanted to touch on that a little bit.
Yeah, it is functional. And I can go back to that.
Because again, I think, going back to one of the first questions you asked, and it was around, AI and leveraging AI and using it. I think, I again, I don't have any data to support this. This is just a gut. I think it's more hesitancy is in the, well, I don't necessarily really know how to use it. I don't really want to take the time to learn how to use it. So I'm just going to go old school, or just ignore it. So if and it is relative, at least when I've used it, it's pretty straightforward, right? It's very conversational, and I'm interested to see what you do here.
Yeah, so we have several AI powered features. Um, Formula Builder, Pivot Builder, and Chart Builder help you basically create spreadsheet formulas or pivot tables or
Hmm.
charts, which otherwise you would, spend, 15 minutes setting up, or a complicated formula you might not want to, figure out how to write it yourself.
Right.
These features are kind of convenience features that help you do that. There's also a SQL builder for our users who need to get data from a SQL database. Um, and oftentimes, I use this feature a lot because uh, writing a SQL query takes a lot of time, right? And
Right.
I can describe in one sentence what data I want, but writing the SQL query would have taken 5 minutes or more. And now I can just write that English sentence and have AI do that for me.
And you're finding that, generally, the back end, again, don't know that I'm using the right terms, but generally the AI tool is pretty, first time efficient in writing
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Yep. 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 And we uh, there's a feedback loop as well. After we generate a formula or a pivot table or a chart for a user, the user can quickly tell us, hey, is this what they wanted? And we use that to improve, how our AI is how our AI works. And so it's kind of constantly improving over
Hmm.
time.
Okay. Are you able
Great.
to do a quick demo of it, or of any of those?
Yeah, let me see. What is what is something I can do here? What is something I
I didn't
can
mean
do
to put you on the
here?
spot, but
No,
I,
it's
I I
it's
find the technology fascinating, just how much it's,
yeah.
because I see the value in spreadsheets, and I've used spreadsheets, but not nearly, probably, again, going to that 5 to 10% of its true power. But the more we get exposure to, like, a GPT and copilots, and the AI technology, and really get comfortable using that, like you just said, something that would have taken 5 or 10 minutes literally can be done in a sentence now, which is amazing. And as accounting professionals and advisors to clients start leveraging that, they increase their value to their clients tenfold, because their clients probably have less experience with it than they do.
That's totally right. Yeah, I these data sets aren't don't really lend themselves to.
Okay.
Let me see. I can maybe just do a like translation, right? Into, I don't know, French.
Yeah,
Do you know French?
I do not.
Well, now you do.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Right. Soon enough.
Yeah. So right here, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, but
Right. Yeah.
yeah. So we give you these convenience spreadsheet functions. They all
Mm,
start with GPTX. So
okay.
uh, it's uh, it's something that a lot of our users use actually for use cases we didn't even like imagine. Um,
Right.
a lot of people use it to one use case for accountants that might be um, uh, valuable is if there's a list of transactions, for instance, and they need to be categorized.
Hmm.
um, uh, AI could help them do that, and they can do that using our product with our GPTX functions.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. There's so much, it's kind of endless, right? What the opportunities are with that type of technology.
It really is.
So just kind of just wrapping up, I think kind of high level, right? We talked about kind of efficiency of using a tool like this, all around advisory and how, as um, a true advisor, you're stepping into, in my words, stepping into, a client's business on a regular basis. And a tool like this allows you to do it daily without really having to do a whole lot of work and beyond opening a spreadsheet and being able to understand what that data means. But this, you're even providing almost like a description of what the data means through color coding and giving me, hey, this is all good in green, this is all bad in red, or yellow. You might want to take a look and let's use caution. So is it and it seems it's easy, relatively easy to manipulate and to build either beyond the templates or add to and add on to the templates that you guys provide. Um, do you have is there, go back to my, what's in it for the accountant, what's in it for their client? What else is in it for the accountant? Like if an accountant wants to bring their book of clients into Coefficient, is there onboarding? Is there training? Do I get a free client, or a free accountant edition or anything like that?
Yeah. So we do offer a free trial. There
Yeah.
is not a kind of free for accounting professionals,
Okay.
but it's um, you know if you purchase our product, you can
Hmm.
connect to any number of client QuickBooks or Zero or NetSuite connections as you need, which means it's a product that can help you across your entire client base, and
Okay.
we don't really limit the number of clients that you work with
Oh,
in
so
our
it's not,
pricing model.
okay. So I'm paying for my subscription to it, regardless of how many clients that I connect to it. Is that correct?
Yep, that's
Okay.
exactly right.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's got to be very
I think
attractive.
yeah, I think there might be a limit somewhere. Like you can't connect to 1,000 different
Okay. Right.
QuickBooks accounts, but for most use cases, that limit would not come in the way.
Hmm. So everybody is always concerned about data security and privacy. What are you doing on that side?
Yeah, that's a great question. Uh, we designed our backend systems, our application to be kind of secure by default. Whenever we are pulling in data from a customer data source system, we make a live query to that system, write it to the spreadsheet, and then it's gone. We don't keep a copy of the
Okay.
data, so that you know alleviates a lot of data security and privacy concerns. A lot of other
Hmm.
tools will, that you would connect, QuickBooks or Zero to would actually sync the data and keep a kind of secondary copy of it. And we don't do that. So that helps a lot. We are SOC 2 Type 2 compliant. We have annual, penetration testing done against our systems. So we are doing a lot to make sure our systems are secure. And one very important kind of core value at Coefficient is trust. It's user trust, and in order to gain the user's trust, we need to make them comfortable with kind of the security posture of our product. So
Hmm.
we take a lot of great care in making sure that our product is secure.
Okay. Any other highlights? I've had just a couple other questions I wanted to ask, but I wanted to make sure we just cover anything else that you had on your list of key things.
I think that's pretty much it. Let's get into
Okay.
questions, and maybe I can
Yeah.
just have this slide up in the background.
Okay, great. Yeah, a couple of the last ones. Again, our audience primarily is, QuickBooks Pro advisors, Zero advisors, accounting pros who are working with business clients. Is there anything, do you have training for users? Do you have live training, or do you have a um, help desk, or anything
Yeah.
similar?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
What's
So
that
we
look
have
like?
a help center on our website.
Okay.
It's I think it's just help.coefficient.io or something like that. And you can get to
Okay.
it from the homepage, and it has
Okay.
resources about every single feature, every single integration that we support. So that is a great resource for learning more about our product. You can always send a message to our support team when you're using the product. We have in-product live chat, and our support team is great. They're super responsive.
Okay.
So any product questions, technical questions, that is a great channel. And if you're considering using Coefficient, you can also request a one-on-one demo, and we'll have a product specialist, get on a call with you, show off the product, learn about your use case, and then give you some ideas on how Coefficient can, help you do your work more efficiently.
Okay. And then is there, going back to the, kind of what's in it for the accountant, is there any kind of referral programs, or say if I'm a user and I'm like, you know what, I really think my clients probably should do this as well. Have any program set up for referral or for the accounting professionals?
Um, I have to get back to you on that. I
Okay.
am not entirely sure, but
Okay.
that seems like a great idea.
If it doesn't exist, all right.
Yeah.
Add that one to the
Yep.
roadmap.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
okay.
We also have a ebook that might be interesting to the audience. Why spreadsheets remain the backbone of SMB accounting.
Hmm.
That's available on our website, and if you're watching the video, you can see the link right there on the slide.
Okay. Great. And then anything in closing? If not, we can, I think we'll just call it a wrap.
Nope, that was a super fun conversation.
And then if somebody's listening to this, but they want to get in touch with you guys, the best way is it just to go to coefficient.io.
That's
And
right.
then, okay. So I
Yep.
do have
And then click on the Get Started button, and
okay.
we'll ask you to enter your email address, and that's it. We'll link you to the appropriate um, app listing page, depending on whether you're Excel user or Google Sheets user.
Okay.
And that's the easiest way to get started.
Fantastic. All right. Well, Tommy, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. Appreciate this overview of the Coefficient product. And if you're in the Atlanta area, give me a shout, and I'll do the
Absolutely.
same. I'll do the same if I'm out west.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, Gary.
Absolutely. Talk to you
Cool.
soon.
Hey, bye.